Oscar Acosta redirects here. For the Major League Baseball pitching coach, see Oscar Carlos Acosta. Oscar Zeta Acosta was an American attorney, politician, novelist and activist in the Chicano Movement. He was most well known for his novels Autobiography of a Brown Buffalo and The Revolt of the Cockroach People, and his friendship with American author Hunter S. Thompson. Thompson characterized him as a heavyweight Samoan attorney, Dr. Gonzo, in his novel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Acosta disappeared in 1974 during a trip in Mazatlan, Mexico, and is presumed dead. Life and career. Acosta was born in El Paso, Texas to Manuel and Juanita Acosta, from Mexico and El Paso, respectively. Oscar was the third child born but second to survive childhood. He had an older brother, Roberto, born in 1934. After the family moved to California, the children were raised in the small San Joaquin Valley rural community of Riverbank, California, near Modesto. Acosta's father was drafted during World War II. After finishing high school, Acosta joined the U.S. Air Force. Following his discharge, Acosta worked his way through Modesto Junior College. He went on to San Francisco State University where he studied creative writing, becoming the first member of his family to get a college education. He attended night classes at San Francisco Law School and passed the California bar exam in 1966. In 1967, Acosta began working locally as an anti-poverty attorney for the East Oakland Legal Aid Society. In 1968, Acosta moved to East Los Angeles and joined the Chicano Movement as an activist attorney, defending Chicano groups and activists. He represented the Chicano 13 of the East LA walkouts, Rodolfo Gonzalez, members of the Brown Berets, and other residents of the East LA barrio. His controversial defenses earned him the ire of the LAPD, who often followed and harassed him. Local law enforcement and the FBI linked Acosta to a shadowy organization called the Chicano Liberation Front, which claimed responsibility for numerous bombings in Southern and Northern California. In 1970, Acosta ran for sheriff of Los Angeles County against Peter J. Pitchess, and received more than 100,000 votes. During the campaign, he was jailed for 2 days for contempt of court. He vowed that if elected, he would do away with the sheriff's department as it was then constituted. Known for loud ties and a flowered-attach copyright case with the Chicano Power sticker, Acosta lost to Pitchess 1.3 million votes, but did beat Everett Holiday, Monterey Park chief of police. In 1972, Acosta published his first novel, Autobiography of a Brown Buffalo, about a lawyer fighting for the rights of a marginalized people. It included a fictionalized account related to the murder of columnist Ruben Copyright N. Salazar of the Los Angeles Times. In 1973, Acosta published The Revolt of the Cockroach People, a fictionalized version of the 1970 Chicano moratorium. Friendship with Hunter S. Thompson. In the summer of 1967, Acosta met author Hunter S. Thompson. The latter in 1971 wrote an article on Acosta and the injustice in the barrios of East LA. For Rolling Stone magazine, titled Strange Rumblings in Aztlan. This article also discusses the murder of Los Angeles Times columnist Ruben Copyright N. Salazar. When working on the article, Thompson and Acosta decided a trip to Las Vegas, Nevada, was in order, so that they could freely discuss Salazar and racial injustice in LA away from any police supervision. Thompson wrote about this trip in his novel, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. As Hunter Thompson wrote in his article The Banshee Screams for Buffalo Meat, the legal department of the publisher of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas say the book could not be published without clearance by Acosta, as references to him were recognizable. Acosta initially refused the clearance, saying that he was insulted by Thompson's alteration of his race. Thompson had described him as a 300-pound Samoan. He understood, however, that inserting his real name and race would necessitate extensive rewriting and delay publication of the book, so he promised clearance provided that his name and picture would appear on the dust jacket. Disappearance. In May 1974, Acosta disappeared while traveling in Mazatlan, Mexico. His son, Marco Acosta, believes that he was the last person to talk to his father. Acosta telephoned his son from Mazatlan, telling him that he was about to board a boat full of white snow. Marco was later quoted in reference to his father's disappearance. "The body was never found, but we surmise that probably, knowing the people he was involved with, he ended up mouthing off, getting into a fight, and getting killed." In 1977, Thompson's investigation of Acosta's disappearance, titled "The Banshee Screams for Buffalo Meat," was published in Rolling Stone. According to Thompson, Acosta was a powerful attorney and preacher but suffered from an addiction to amphetamines, and had a predilection for LSD. The article was Thompson's response to rumors that Acosta was alive somewhere around Miami. Thompson wrote he believed Acosta was either murdered by drug dealers or was the victim of a political assassination. Others have speculated that Acosta overdosed or suffered a nervous breakdown during his trip. Quotes about Acosta: "Oscar was not into serious street fighting, but he was hell on wheels in a bar brawl. Any combination of a 250-pound Mexican and LSD-25 is a potentially terminal menace for anything it can reach €, but when the alleged Mexican is in fact a profoundly angry Chicano lawyer with no fear at all of anything that walks on less than 3 legs and a de facto suicidal conviction that he will die at the age of 33 €, just like Jesus Christ €, you have a serious piece of work on your hands. Especially if the bastard is already 33 or 1/2 years old with a head full of Sanders acid, a loaded .357 Magnum in his belt, a hatchet-wielding Chicano bodyguard on his elbow at all times, and a disconcerting habit of projectile-vomiting geysers of pure blood off the front porch every 30 or 40 minutes, or whenever his malignant ulcer can't handle any more raw tequila. Every century there are a few individuals who are destined to lead the weak, to hold unpopular beliefs and, most important, who are willing to die for their cause. My father's whole life was given to the fight for the people. One of God's own prototypes. A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, and too rare to die." Motion Pictures, the film where the buffalo roam loosely depicts Acosta's life and his relationship with Hunter S. Thompson. Its name is derived from Thompson's article about Acosta, "The Banshee Screams for Buffalo Meat." This title refers to Acosta's book Autobiography of a Brown Buffalo. Actor Peter Boyle portrayed Acosta, whose character is named Carl Laszlo, Escarim, and Bill Murray portrayed Thompson. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a film adaptation of Thompson's novel of the same name, a fictionalized account of Thompson and Acosta's trip to Las Vegas in 1971. Benicio del Toro portrays Acosta, referred to in the film and novel as Dr. Gonzo, while Johnny Depp portrayed Thompson. References. Further reading: Autobiography of a Brown Buffalo, ISBN 0-679-72213-0, The Revolt of the Cockroach People, ISBN 0-679-72212-2, Oscar Zeta Acosta, The Uncollected Works. Elan Stevans, editor. Hospitable Imaginations, Contemporary Latino Literature and a Pursuit of a Readership, a dissertation on Oscar Zeta Acosta within the context of Gloria Anzalea, Pyrie Thomas, Giannina Broi, Sandra Cisneros, June Otaraz, and Gilbert Hernandez. Christopher Thomas Gonzalez, Ohio Link. Thompson's and Acosta's collaborative creation of the Gonzo narrative style, Shimbali Jira Cube Den King. Comparative Literature and Culture, Vol 10, Issue 1, Purdue University, 2008. The Great Shack Hunt, Strange Tales from a Strange Time. Hunter S. Thompson, Ballantine Books, ISBN 0-345-37482-7. External links: Guide to the Acosta Papers at the California Ethnic and Multicultural Archives, Oscar Zeta Acosta reading La Cucaracha on YouTube.